Assalamu alaikum. I don't know how to say the full greeting, but you know how it goes. So, how do you go about telling your mama and your daddy that you want to be Muslim and they're not Muslim? Woo! Okay, I'm going to try my best to give good advice here because even when I told my parents, I was kind of not the greatest. But I'll tell you how I told my parents, and you can incorporate my doings with your own thoughts and ideas, if that makes sense. Before you tell your parents, you have to make sure you know something about Islam. So don't just tell them, well, I just want to do it because I like the religion. I mean, you gotta give them a little bit of substance because more than likely they're going to ask, especially if they're Christian. They're going to ask. At least know some of the basics. So don't just go in there with your eyes closed. Hey, I want to be Muslim. Okay, so know something at least. Be confident. You have to sound sure of yourself. You can't sound, I think I want to be Muslim. I think I want to convert or revert to no. Mom, Dad, Mom and Dad, I'm a Muslim. Or, Mom, Dad, I want to be Muslim. This is why. Okay, so don't be sounding all retarded and, like you don't know what you're talking about because they're going to look at you like you're retarded and then they're going to take your little butt to church and make you pray there. So if you don't want to do that, get your stuff together. Just FYI, this is a miswak and I haven't used it. My husband got it for me. I wonder what he's trying to say. But I haven't used it. It smells good. But I haven't used it. And I've had it for like a day. And I'm scared to use it. If any of you use this, let me know. I heard that if you use it, any deed that you do after using this, it will be multiplied by 70 times. So maybe I should do this before I go do a good deed. But anyways, now, this is how I told my mom and dad. And it was a really, really long process. So I reverted in 2009, okay? But I was in the process of reverting since 2007. So, between 2007 and 2009, I would just randomly bring up things to my parents, well, let me just tell you like this. I went to my dad one time and I said, Dad, if every religion thinks that their religion is right and their religion will send them to heaven, how do you really know which one is right? If they all claim to be right, how do you know which one really is? Well, that's why it's called faith. You have to believe in something that you don't have proof of and blah, 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 blah. I'm like, okay, typical answer. And that was one day. Maybe a few months later, I asked him, what would you think if I converted to Islam? Or what would you think if I became Muslim? And he said, well, actually, interesting story. When I was younger, when I was a teenager, I actually almost converted to Islam, but I came back to Christianity after studying Islam for a while, for some time, and I came back to Christianity. And if you did think about converting to Islam, I'd pray that the good Lord Jesus Christ will guide you back to the path of Christianity. But if you did want to convert, I'd hope you'd read about it and then come back to Christianity. Oh, okay, well, just wondering. So that being said right there, I knew where my dad stood about me being a Muslim. He wasn't going to be happy if I reverted, basically, okay? And that within that same day or week or whatever, I went to my mom and I said the exact same thing. But mind you, my mom is not very religious. She is a Christian, but she's not go to church and all that stuff. She's a Christian. And I was like, Mom, what would you think if I became Muslim? Or if I ever wanted to be Muslim? Well, I don't know, because wouldn't you be hot wearing that thing on your head all the time? That's the only reason you wouldn't want me to be Muslim is because you think I would be hot wearing the scarf on my head. Well, yeah, I guess. So that let me know where my mom stood if I ever decided to be Muslim. Clearly, she doesn't care, you know. And so naturally, I told my mom first when I became Muslim. I just flat out told her. So yeah, I'm a Muslim now. And she was like, "Oh, okay, well, good for you." That's all she said. And every time she sees me in my hijab, she says, "Oh, that's really cute." So she's cool with it. My dad, when I told my dad, he almost died. Like, he almost had a heart attack when I told my dad. And he just pretty much had a breakdown at that point. But there's nothing he could do about it. I was 18 when I told him, or 19, almost 19 when I told him. And he's still not happy to this day. He's still extremely bitter about it. I don't even talk about my religion when I'm with my dad. I don't, nothing, not at all. I just pretend like it doesn't even exist. If I bring it up with my dad, we might as well just shoot each other. That bad, like really, really, really bad. My dad does not like my religion. He doesn't like that I got married to a Muslim. He doesn't like that I don't live with him anymore. He doesn't like that I am Muslim. I'm my dad's only daughter. I'm his baby girl, and I loved him. So he's not too happy. And but yes, break it to them easy, like, ease it in there. Ask them, what do you think about Muslims? Do you think Muslims are weird? Do you think they're all terrorists? Do you know anything about Muslims? Like, see where they stand on it before you just be like, "Hey, I'm Muslim, yo. Deal with it, son." Don't do that. I mean, you could if that's how you and your family get down. But, oh God. But with my family, I had to, like, slowly break it to them. So I did it over a period of time, asking them how they felt about Islam, what they think about it. Do they think Muslims are going to go to hell? Do they think Muslims are going to go to heaven? Find out where they stand about Islam before you tell them. And that way, if you at least, like my mom, when I found out where she stood, it was easy for me to tell her. So I didn't have to worry about that. When I found out where my dad stood, it was a lot harder to break the news to him. So just take it easy, and remember, wait until you're ready to tell your parents or anybody else for that matter about your religion. Wait until you feel comfortable, and wait until you feel that you can handle the reaction in a good way. Or, I don't know what that means. Make sure you can handle your parents' reaction before you tell them, because if you can't handle it and if you can't back up anything you're saying, it's gonna be bad. So, know what you're talking about. Good luck, because I'm telling you right now, it's gonna be hard. Like, I'm not even joking. It's gonna be hard, scary. You're probably gonna feel like you are about to die when you do this, and like the world is gonna end. But I promise you, once you get it over with, you will feel so free, because I did. Even though my dad was pissed off, I still felt free, like I didn't have to hide it from him anymore. So, yeah, just take a deep breath and go in there. And the way I look at things sometimes when I'm really scared, I just tell myself, is it going to kill you to do this? No? Okay, then do it. And it makes it a little bit easier, but, it's still pretty hard.